Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I actually filmed this video last week, but it got deleted. Don't ask me how. I was so annoyed. This is probably a better video to do anyway, and I feel as though the last video I was missing out like so much. So yeah, we're going to redo it and I'm so excited to get into this, and I really hope that you learned something from this video. I thought we'd actually film this video in my studio today, so we're going to get really cozy and you can literally be in the chaos with me. I essentially wanted to create a video that could potentially help you guys in terms of starting your own reselling business, tips and tricks that I've learned along the way so you don't have to struggle. There are different components that I wanted to break this video down into. So if you've clicked on this video, I'm guessing that you kind of know a little something about the reselling world, and that's really good. And also the fact that you clicked on this video shows that you really want to learn something as well, so that's also a bonus. But yeah, I feel like the reason why I'm making these videos and the reason why I'm creating this kind of content now is to inspire others to shop secondhand and help you obviously kickstart your business, because it's really not easy, and a lot of people think that it's really easy to do these things. Honestly, it takes a lot of knowledge, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of practice to get it right. So being able to sit here and talk to you about it all is really cool, and I hope that you learned something from this video, or if it motivated you to start reselling. But without further ado, let's just get on into this video, and I'm excited to share with you things that I know and things that might be able to help you with your Vinted, your Depop, your eBay, and maybe even if you want to start a Shopify store as well, but maybe we'll do that in another video. There's so much content when it comes to reselling that it's really hard and difficult to just cram it all into one video. Thinking about putting like a little playlist together so you guys can have a mooch on there. What I mean by playlist is essentially like a load of different small YouTube videos, but reselling is just one topic, and then there are so many little subtopics in that oh my days, my brain feels like a universe sometimes, but so much whirling around in there, and that's just down to the fact of all the things I know and the ideas that I have. Like a little 5-minute vlog on each topic that we can cover. So think like photography, branding, pricing, comps, like working out if an item is fake or not, that kind of thing. I actually want to see that type of content, then please do drop a comment because it will help me. It really will. Okay, right, so we're just going to get into it. I'm going to give you my 5 top tips for beginner resellers on Vinted and Depop and eBay, and the mistakes that I've learned so that you don't have to make them. And yeah, hopefully this helps you. So let's just get on into it. So there's so many things that I wish I could tell you right now. But if I had to pick 5 top things, these would be the things I would say to you right now. If you are completely new to reselling and you have no idea where to start, these would be my top 5 things that are going to make you sales. They're going to make you grow. Essentially, it's all the things I wish I knew when I was just literally starting selling my old clothes, but you're going to be one step ahead of me because you've got this mini guide, and hopefully you'll be able to make some really amazing sales. As an experienced reseller, I'm putting together a small little starter pack so you can get an idea of what things you might need when starting a reselling business. This is your reseller starter pack. When I mean reseller starter pack, it's just a few things that you might need before you get started. So the first thing you need is obviously a phone and a laptop. If you have those, you're off to a great start. You'll also need a suitable camera, but you can just use your phone. I use my phone for the pictures that I do for retro clothes shops. So I used to use a Canon 1300D, but obviously if you're first starting out and you don't have the money to invest in a proper camera, just use your phone. Sometimes the camera quality is sometimes better now on your phone. Most smartphones have a really nice HD resolution, so just use your phone. If you're shipping internationally, make sure that you've got some scales. Kitchen ones will do fine. These ones are from Munbin. I hope I said that right. But yeah, these ones are really, really good. And they were a little bit pricey, but definitely worth it in the long run. A roll of tape is your best friend. Get yourself a little tape measure like this. You can get the ones that are actually suitable for clothing. I do have them, but I can never find them when I actually do need them. So this one I actually got from Poshmark UK. They came to the UK in, I want to say 2023, I think. Lucky enough to be part of the community there. And they gave me this little tape measure, which I really love. So, but yeah, any tape measure will do. It just helps you with your listings. You also need little postage bags. Please use postage bags because obviously it's okay to recycle and use carrier bags and things like that. But I have seen some horror stories on TikTok. Honestly, TikTok is a very scary place and I do my best to stay away from it. However, I saw somebody once send an item. There was this lady and she was reviewing her Vinted parcel. I can't honestly remember. I can't find the link because if I could, I would show you. Somebody sent it in a McCain chip bag. I've seen people use restaurant like container boxes. I have seen it all. So please use poly mailers. They are so cheap. Make your business look really professional. You'll get return customers. Just whatever you do, don't send it in a crisp packet because I've seen that as well. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on from that because I think you all know if you've clicked on this video, don't think you guys are going to be sending your items in these really questionable packages. On Amazon, invest in some postage bags. It's usually about £9 for 100. I think the last point is to invest in a printer if you can. However, if you are just first starting out, most platforms have a built-in QR code system so that you can just scan the QR code at your parcel shop or at the post office and literally just write the names of the people on the bag so that when you get to the parcel shop, it's really easy to see which one's which. I actually still do this because sometimes it doesn't allow me to print off the label. So yeah, that's what I would say. Other than like these little boxes here, I would say just grab a few of those from B&M or wherever you can get them, from Amazon maybe. Grab some of these because they're really good. When I first started out, I used carrier bags to put my stuff in, but you obviously need somewhere to store all of your inventory, and I use this system here. It's just a rack of clothing, and yeah, I think you'll be able to get to this point eventually, but for now, if you're just starting out, you could use carrier bags, you could use a little IKEA rail. I also have one of those, but definitely just use these little boxes to get you going. Sometimes you might need bubble wrap if you're, say for example, you're reselling shoes or you're reselling handbags or you're reselling pottery or anything that's breakable. Also invest in cardboard boxes and also invest in bubble wrap. And sometimes you can get postage bags that come with a bubble wrap sealer inside of them already. Just think about the items that you're selling and the packaging that you might need and acquire. Nothing worse than somebody ordering something from you and when they actually receive the package, it's been damaged because it hasn't been packaged correctly. So make sure that you are buying the right supplies for your inventory. That's my beginner starter pack. They're the things that I think you would need just to get going. You might want to also invest in a studio light. These ones I'm using right now are by RFD-RETROCHLO on Amazon, and they are really cheap lights that you can invest in. But natural lighting is your best friend, so make sure you've got a nice window where your wall is. If you have a window that looks onto a wall, that's great because it's natural lighting and it's much better than studio lamps anyway. Now we're just going to quickly move into my top 5 tips really quickly. We're going to run through them all. Number 1 is photography. As we've just spoken about, natural lighting is key. If you shoot your items by a window or even outside, it looks so much better than having dim lit pictures. And the other thing I would say as well is use a neutral or white background or anything that has a sort of flat surface that's clean and it looks professional. Doing this will make your item pop and it will look really aesthetically pleasing. Also, show multiple angles of the garment. Ensure that you've pointed out any flaws as well in your photograph. Something that I have noticed in my experience is that modeled shots sell faster than flat lays and hanger shots. Although I do use hanger shots now, but this is for my waistcoats. Anything that's like a dress, because everybody knows how a waistcoat is going to sit, whereas different dresses, different styles, different outfits, trousers, for example, when they're on the hanger, you can't see the fit of them. So being able to model these garments gives you a higher pinpoint price point. To start modeling your pictures, you actually can make a lot more money because the garment looks more expensive. If you don't feel comfortable doing modeled shots yet, try and get a mannequin or, like I say, do a flat lay or do a hanger shot. These work just the same. We're going to move on to number 2, which is pricing. With pricing, don't race to the bottom. A lot of the time, I see a lot of new resellers listing stuff that they think is worth £3 when in reality, it's probably worth about £32 to £40. What you're going to do is once you've chosen your niche and once you've actually got all of the items that you want to sell, do a price comparison. So these are actually called comps, okay? So what you'll do is you'll search for that item on eBay, Depop, Vinted. Once you can see how much it's going for, you'll want to price it just below, maybe not over, but just below. That way then you'll be making more sales. Your item is at a lower price than someone else's. A lot of the time I find that Depop buyers pay more for the aesthetic, whereas Vinted buyers are just always expecting a bargain. So yeah, that's from my experience, though it could be completely different for someone else. You'll also want to build in this idea of a wiggle room as well. So essentially, if you want £25 for something, put it on for £35 or £30. It gives the buyer a chance to send you a £5 off offer, and that way then they feel like they're getting a bargain. You're selling it for the price that you wanted it for anyway. It's a win-win situation. So I would just say, do your comps, do your research before your item goes live. Moving on to tip number 3, which we're going to talk about inventory. And this is all about staying organized. Now, once you've actually picked a niche, a category that you really, really resonate with, it could be skirts, it could be denim jackets, it could be waistcoats, it could be knitwear, trainers, boots, the list is absolutely endless. Selling what you love is so important, so always remember that. Once you have all of that sorted and you've got your niche down to a T, you can actually create a SKU code system. When you're first starting out, maybe this isn't such a big deal, but as you grow and your inventory grows, it's really important to keep a track. So I use an Excel spreadsheet and this helps me so much. I'm able to see exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and I actually label the code. So my coding system, you can find it on Depop. It's literally RCS, which stands for Retro Clothes Shop. And then I usually put the month that it was listed in and then the number that it is. So it's really easy for me to find and navigate the shop once I've got this system in place. So it means that when your item sells, you can log it on your Excel spreadsheet really easily. You haven't got to search it by vintage 90s denim waistcoat and then scroll through 1,000 of them to find it. All you need to do is input this code and it's there. We'll actually make a video about this and I'm going to give you a free template as well at some point to be able to help you. Another thing is fold or hang your stock. Like so, because it keeps it neat. When you have a cluttered space, you have a cluttered mind. And so being able to come into a studio or a space where everything is neatly folded, it's all organized in the boxes. When the item sells, you can go straight to the box, pull it out and wrap it and pack it without worrying about where did I put it? So yeah, definitely keep them organized. Also keep an eye on what's listed and what's not listed and segregate piles in either your bedroom or your office or your studio space to actually list things that are not listed yet. Make a track of these because the amount of times I have literally forgotten about listing a box of clothing because I just forgot about it. And then the next month I find it. It's like I struck gold and hit the jackpot when actually I could have been making money last month. If your item is not online, it cannot be bought. So always remember that. Tip number 4 is SEO. And this is not spoken about enough in the reselling world. A lot of people don't even know what it means. And it's search engine optimization. Now, this is really straightforward, but you really need to learn the key words. So Depop actually used to have a keyword filter, but they've actually removed it now. I will also probably have to add like a list at some point to give you an idea of keywords. Essentially, when you are listing a product, you need to include keywords, themes, the core values of this item. So, for example, let me get an item and I'll show you what I mean. So I've got this one here, okay? So I sell a lot of waistcoats. It's my niche. I absolutely love them. And yeah, I love them. I really do. And I wear too many of them. So for this item, I'd say, writing like vintage 90s denim waistcoat to start with is a great starting point. Add in boho, western, autumn, festival, cowboy, embroidered, buttons, those keywords that make an item more searchable, because there are hundreds of thousands of denim waistcoats, but this one is so unique. Even if you just wrote vintage 90s western denim waistcoat, it's going to show more in search than denim waistcoat on its own, because it's got so many key phrases. You've got the era, the material, a core of what, what the category fits under. So yeah, just be so mindful when you're writing the descriptions. What you need to ask yourself is, how do you search for an item when you're buying an item? You just need to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. So if they were looking for that specific item, how would they search for it? And go from there. With your descriptions, you'll want to include all of the measurements, all of the sizes, and make sure that you discuss any flaws within the garment, because as soon as the buyer gets it, if that has not been mentioned, they will open a return. I feel like Depop is very visual, whereas Vinted is very search heavy. Just tailor your wording to the platform and tailor your descriptions to the platform, and you can't go wrong. You can also add the occasion. So for example, if you've got a blue satin maxi dress that could be used for a prom or a wedding or a summer festival occasion, you can write all of that into your description, because it will pull, these little words are pulled out in search when somebody searches for it. So they are really credible and they're really important if you want your item to sell faster. If you've got all of these steps, there's nothing stopping you from getting on, grabbing some stuff and listing it up online. Reselling isn't about luck, it's about having a system and complying to it. If you start with these 5 key points, it will save you so much time in the long run and you'll make so many more sales. This has been years of trial and error for me, and I really want to be able to help you guys grow your reselling business. So this is just a taste of things to come. If you really enjoyed this video and you really loved watching it, please drop a like and a comment, because it always helps me out, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm hoping to make more reselling content like this and help you guys alongside doing some little vlogs, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get an autumn lookbook soon as well. So I have some ideas, it's just about getting them down on pen and paper. But if you prefer this kind of spoken word content where I'm helping you guys, then yeah, please do let me know. But thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.